Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to the second of our conversation starters. This one's Facebook Initiatives, and we're live on Google Hangouts on air. So welcome to everyone who's joined us and to our three panelists. We are very excited to have three panelists today from Wellington and Auckland. So I'm just going to start by handing over to them to introduce themselves, starting with Olivia and Andrea, who are in the same location in Wellington. Over to you guys.
Hi, I'm Olivia Lacey. I'm the publicist at City Gallery Wellington. We're a contemporary public art gallery in the nation's capital.
And I'm Andrea Tandy, the comms and media manager for the Royal New Zealand Ballet. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Thanks. And our third panelist is Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim Blake. I'm the Communications and Digital Content Manager for Silo Theatre in Auckland, and we produce 4 to 6 contemporary plays around Auckland each year.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, all of you. And behind the scenes, hidden away here, is Brett Premack, who's our technical director, and he's based in Tucson, Arizona, and some of you may have seen his recent From My Desk video. Hi, Brett, and thanks. Okay, so Facebook, it has become an indispensable tool for us in arts organisations. It's enabling us to deliver information in real time to our audiences, give them behind-the-scenes insights, engage directly with audiences, and also to reach new audiences and build online communities that are strong and loyal and we can talk to every day. So results from the 38 participant organisations who were part of our Optimizer benchmarking program have shown real growth in Facebook. So between the first and second years, we have seen a 34% growth in average likes per organisation. And also the recent Creative New Zealand Audience Atlas results that have just come out are showing us that 3/4 of the market for culture are on Facebook in New Zealand. So it's a big deal. However, Facebook's algorithm changes are causing all sorts of challenges in reaching the Facebook communities that we've grown. And it does present some interesting day-to-day opportunities and challenges for those who are working in the sector. So we need to be strategic about how we use it. So we're really keen to hear today from our three panelists about what they're facing day to day with their use of Facebook and what they're doing and what their plans are for the future. So I'm going to start with you, Olivia, about what you have been noticing at City Gallery about your audience's use of Facebook over the last year or so.
Hi, thank you. So we've noticed in the last year that we have had quite a significant increase from the year before. Around, I think from 2013, 2014, we had about an 8% increase, where the last period we've had around 25%, which is good. So it's showing that there's a lot more people engaging on it. But one thing I have noticed is that when I go to Google Analytics, is that a lot more people are accessing our Facebook page via mobile. So the users from laptop and PC has dropped about 40%, which is quite a bit, but we've increased 72% on mobile. So what I've noticed with that is obviously we have to kind of consider how we create the content and how we post it, how it's going to look on a tablet or a mobile device. So yeah, that's interesting. Another thing that we've noticed with our audiences is that competitions have changed. Where we used to run competitions and we'd ask people to send in photographs or post photographs, we have much better pickup with sort of competitions or promotions where people can like, share or comment, so they can be much more spontaneous in their participation in the competition. So I think sort of maybe people we're losing interest in posting and committing that time, or perhaps it's just Instagram that's taking over that whole sort of uploading photo competition arena. So yeah, so that I've noticed a change in that. Another one is, like as Vicky was saying, the Facebook algorithms. One thing I've been sort of practicing and focusing on are keywords. They seem to pick up on keywords. And one project that we have here called Gallery Babes, which is aimed for parents and young babies to come on gallery tours. So we can use the word babies, which I think is a popular word with Facebook. As you may see, your newsfeed full of people, babies. And no online list, analysing what you see in your newsfeed and trying to pick up on what maybe those keywords are. So we've noticed a 300% increase in gallery babes in the last year by just using the word babes and babies in the impressions. So I think that's quite significant, and I think that it is showing that it works, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Olivia. I really liked you bringing up the point about mobile, because we often think about mobile in terms of website visits, but we need to think about social media as well and people viewing it on mobile and how we adapt to that. So I'm going to jump across to Tim here in Auckland. What have you been noticing, Tim, about your audiences on Facebook over the last year?
We've definitely noticed a sort of 25% drop in engagement across likes, comments, and shares. It's sort of picking up on that algorithms thing again that Olivia and you, Vicky, have mentioned, and it's sort of trying to temper that sort of temptation to boost every post. So we've had to sort of identify what's the key information that we really want to boost past the algorithm problem. So things like behind-the-scenes videos, production photos, rehearsal photos, cast and crew profiles, sort of really sort of identifying what's the key information to spend money on. I think that the engagement with particular posts has been interesting as well. A lot of my friends say, oh, I saw Silo put a post up, what was that? And I say, well, did you read it? And they said, no, it was too long. So it's constantly looking at trying to streamline the copy and sort of letting the image, the video, or the link do most of the talking or convey the message. I find it's sort of like a scrolling generation, so there's so much on Facebook that we really have to cut above the noise and kind of have something that's eye-catching, also on mobile more. The other thing I really noticed is that Facebook is constantly coming up with new rules and regulations that sort of set challenges in themselves. So a recent one we've noticed is that you can no longer boost an album of photos or even boost a post that has an image that has more than 20% text on the image. So it's all those sorts of challenges that kind of force us to keep sort of trying new things, trialing different times of day, and just really keep it fresh and evolving with the regulations that Facebook puts in place.
Yeah, that is a challenge. Thanks, Tim. And so, how about you, Andrea? What have you been finding over at the Royal New Zealand Ballet?
Well, our audience is sort of steadily growing, which is great. And sort of as you mentioned, we're sort of just above the average, I guess. It's sort of about 40% on last year's sort of number of likes, which feels pretty good. We actually had a massive jump in likes after we sort of tapped into World Ballet Day, which was on the 29th of April around then, and we had an increase of over about 1,700 sort of likes, and that was just through sort of that international ballet community, all sort of interested in that sort of hashtag. Yeah, we sort of have an increase of about 50 to 100 new likes, depending on how busy we've been sort of with the season or whatever. The demographics remaining consistently the same, sort of 18 to 24-year-olds predominantly. But one of the big things is just the demand for video. Video impressions are kind of about 5K and up, versus photos which might have been about 3,000 likes. Reach, I suppose, sorry, not likes. So, yeah, video seems to be what the audience is demanding from us, and we're lucky that we've got some really great content happening in studio, so we can provide it.
That's really interesting to hear, because it's been documented for some time that video is the most popular form of content on the web and one of the most important forms of content. So really interesting to hear that you're having those results with video and experiences with that. So I'm going to lead on to the next question, which is around how you have specifically been using Facebook as a platform to engage with new and existing audiences, and some of the outcomes of that you've been noticing, because I think it's that practical day-to-day thing that's really interesting for the others in the sector to hear. So I'll start with you, Olivia, on that one.
Hi, thanks, Vicky.
We're having a few technical issues with
To
Olivia.
engage new. Okay.
Keep going and we'll
Are
give
we
it a
back?
try. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a variety of ways in which we like to engage the audience and try and target new people. But one example that we've been using over the past year is that we've developed our Facebook events more regularly and more strategically. In particular for our monthly Tuatara Open Late, which is a new program that we launched last year. Where the first Thursday of every month, we're open from 5 until 10 p.m. So the late night, and it has music, food, etc. So we aim to set up a Facebook event about three weeks before, and we sort of operate it as a secondary Facebook page. So this is what I think is quite interesting, is that we operate so we can engage a targeted audience, an audience that are interested in us for this particular event, where some of our other audiences are more interested in the more academic art talks, or perhaps like gallery babes. So it's a way of engaging and capturing that audience without saturating or boring our Facebook audience. And we've also used it, so we send it out to our sponsors and things like that, so they can share it with their audiences. And what we're noticing is we're getting a much wider pickup from people who maybe didn't come to the gallery normally or before. So so that's been really good. And another outcome of that is we can also look at the conversion from online attendance. Quite a similarity in that. There's always going to be a few figures, out. You can't always get it exactly right, but it has. We get between 400 and 800 attending on Facebook, and perhaps get around mid-500s in attendance. So I think it is, quite aligned. And then another good thing is that we can, keep that open late community going. After the event, we post a thank you, we share the photos, and so that's really great. And then we post the next link to continue that open late community cycle. So other outcomes, new audiences, as I was saying before. We did a little bit of promoted posts, around $40 to boost the event, and that attracted a new audience to the gallery who maybe weren't aware of Open Late and are more interested in visiting the gallery in that capacity. So so that's been pretty good.
That's great. Thanks, Olivia. I think the way that you're using the event pages functionality on Facebook to really be able to deliver a lot of content out to that specific segmented audience is really clever. So you've really taken the existing functionality and looked at how it can work for you. It's great. Thanks. So Tim, we'd like to hear some of the initiatives that you've been putting in place over there at Silo Theatre.
Sure. So we treat Facebook as one of many platforms that we can use to communicate who we are and our brand. So we really want to create conversation that aligns alongside our work. And so when we look at Facebook for each campaign, it's about really kicking off from the text or the play that we are currently working on, and sort of drawing out themes and ideas from that we can create original content that sort of creates that conversation. A recent example of that is we created a thing called the Invisible Boyfriend Experiment alongside our 8 gigabytes of hardcore pornography season, and that was sort of looking at online dating, and it was a sort of a program where you could have like a fake boyfriend that texts you. So we sort of got someone to help us with that, and we followed their journey through that. I think one of the things we like to focus on is always deeper engagement with Facebook, and not promoting ticket sales too much with our posts. We try to keep ticketing links and calls to action outside of our posts, and just really keep it about conversations with those themes and ideas. Our primary focus for this year in 2015 has been about opening up our process and creating behind-the-scenes videos with our cast and crew in rehearsal, and those have been really great for us. We've got a lot of views off that, which has been really awesome, and it's really speaking specifically to the work. In the past, we've tried to gain new followers through advertising, but we don't generally do that as much now. For us, we really think about it as quality over quantity and trying to keep the people who are with us engaged and not maybe just organically grow our audience through boosts or through the original content that we create. In terms of like specific learnings and outcomes, I feel like we learn about Facebook every day. Like I was saying, with all the rules and regulations, it's always changing and it sort of keeps you on your toes, and it's really exciting. And we like to evolve through our audience, what they're liking, what they're not liking, what they're commenting on, what they're watching. And then I'd say one of the biggest lessons we've learned is just to really keep our posts relevant to the brand and the core purpose, and really keep going back to those themes and ideas that I keep talking about. And also just to touch on the algorithms again, it is that Facebook algorithms really force us to evolve and change, which is good in a social media area. It should always be fun, exciting, surprising, just so people don't get bored and sort of expect the same thing from us. So I think with Facebook's changing face every day, it really forces us to be the same.
It's great you see that as a real positive, Tim. And I think you guys are a really great example of integrity to the brand and thinking of that within the context of the platform. So thanks for sharing that. So we'll move across to you, Andrea, in Wellington, and hear a bit about what you at the Royal New Zealand Ballet have been doing on Facebook.
Well, we're definitely working with a bit more video content. In the lead up to a show, we try to sort of create quite a bit of momentum by doing these sort of 10-day countdowns where we're getting snippets in the wardrobe department of costumes, dancers having costume fittings, or you know, rehearsal and things like that. That we then also, one of the bonuses of doing that is that we can then put an end slide on that to sort of what we're actually hearing, and it's also a really nice opportunity to be able to showcase some of our sponsors, namely Vodafone. So that's been a real bonus. We've also been tapping into sort of those worldwide days that I mentioned earlier, like International Ballet Day and World Dance Day, and we've had some of those videos go sort of quite viral actually, which was great. The only thing with that is that we had one video that was picked up by I think LA Dancers are doing something quite cool on a wobble board, a really amazing warm-up exercise, and she wasn't wearing any branded gear, or so we kind of, we lost our post, so it was like she wasn't identifiable as a Royal New Zealand Ballet dancer. So what we're trying to do now is watermark our videos if they don't have that end slide on them, so that it's got our web address, so people can find us that way if it gets sort of picked up and goes big, which is great. We've been new to us, for sort of between $40 and $80. We're managing to sort of find some new audiences, which is really good. We're learning about that, so it's about being a bit cleverer in the way that we kind of target those ads and to what audiences. But we're kind of tripling our reach, which feels quite good. So we'll continue using that for a bit. And as Tim said, the algorithm is always changing, so you never know quite what's going to happen next, which does keep you on your toes. It can be a bit frustrating when you've just kind of felt like you've really nailed something, but anyway, that's the nature of the beast.
That's great, Andrea. A couple of times you broke up a bit. Unfortunately, we're having a couple of technical difficulties there. But so I'll just sort of sum up that I think what's really great about what you're doing is you're really using Facebook to reach new audiences. So you're tapping into some of these global trends like World Ballet Day, but also now thinking more cleverly about if something that you produce gets picked up and spreads virally, making sure that you have your watermark branding on it, whether it's a video or an image, whatever, so that you can really maximize that, and also utilizing Facebook advertising to find those new audiences. Yeah, so that's really great. So thanks for sharing that, the three of you. Just wanted to wrap up really with just very quickly, what's next for you on Facebook? So as you look forward to the next phase, what do you think you'll be focusing on, Olivia?
Right, so I think we're going to continue with a lot of things. Continue testing keywords and try and beat that algorithm and see if we can make the most of that. Continue to test ads, as Tim was talking about, and also another thing is just continue to. We want to really make sure that we share and support posts and good news from other related organisations and keep that sort of arts community going and that wider support.
So, Olivia, I'm just going to stop you there because you're breaking up quite considerably.
One thing I'm keen on doing is with photos, sometimes it's
I might just, Olivia, I'll stop you there just for the moment because you're breaking up quite a lot. I'll just pass over to you, Tim, while we wait for that to reconnect. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess what's next for us on Facebook in a broader sense will be what I keep talking about the whole way through, is just continuing to evolve and learn through our audience. If it's not getting much engagement, we'll relook at what we've done and other ways of sharing it and sort of keep evolving that conversation that's so important to us alongside our work and how we approach Facebook from that standpoint. More specifically, we'll continue this year and in the years to come to really keep opening up our process with videos. They're really working really well for us. And even more specifically, I might look at how Facebook always suggests that you upload your videos straight to Facebook instead of sharing a link, because they seem to have a lot more insights that you can gain access to through that. And we'll just keep people on their toes with what we're sharing.
That's great, and of course loading video direct to Facebook doesn't stop you also loading it on other platforms like YouTube simultaneously, and then you get the benefit of both in a way. Yeah.